Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Reverend Chandler Stokes, Westminster Presbyterian Church.
Give it up for that band. Well, congratulations again, Habitat. You're 30 years old. 30 years old. So look out, because that means middle age is just around the corner. And middle age has its risks. It can be when you're not feeling it anymore. It can also be when you have to learn about being in it for the long haul. And just recently, Karen, my partner of 30 years, taught me about our marriage. She said, honey, if you could just be a little more like the dog. I mean, if you could just smile and wag every time you see me, it would be better. I mean, the later I come home, the happier he is to see me. Couldn't you just be a little more like the dog? So at 30 years, I've learned that at my best, I can rise to the level of the dog. But the thing is, I never imagined at the start of our relationship that the pinnacle of my marital fidelity would be to be like the dog. And that was a failure of imagination. And that's the risk of middle age, failure of imagination, for real. Research at Harvard recently showed that middle-aged people often look back to our teenage selves with chagrin and amusement, not realizing that our future selves will look back and think the same thing about us. At every age, we think we're having the last laugh, and at every age, we're wrong. When we predict what we'll be like in 10 years, we consistently play down the potential changes ahead. We are much better at recalling our former selves than at imagining how we would change in the future. See, 30 years ago, we were struggling to build 1-2 houses a year. Did we imagine then that we'd be building 25 a year now? So, to imagine that in 30 years more, we might grow to twice that is probably still a failure of imagination and thinking too small. Maybe we should imagine being even more faithful than that, as I should imagine being more faithful than the dog. Dwellers on the Threshold. That's the next tune, and that's where we are. At 30, we're on the threshold of what we can't imagine yet. We're only 30. We're only getting started. So approaching middle age or 30 years in an institution's life, the risk is that we simply fail to imagine a future bright enough. We're 30, but we're on the threshold. Standing in the dark, seeing in a mirror dimly, we are on the threshold of light we cannot yet imagine. So let's go, Habitat. Let's cross that threshold. Let's go see how bright that future will be. Say amen, somebody.
All right.